Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Zhou flew at a slow speed as he continued controlling the Yuan'er. In fact, the flight was slightly shaky, making it look as though it was severely injured. Zhou continued to control it for 2 hours, crossing mountains, rivers, and forests before he arrived near the Skywheel mountain range. When Zhou saw the Skywheel mountain range, he found it rather familiar. Apart from the height of the mountains and the flora and fauna, it was rather similar to the Golden Lotus realm. As he continued to survey his surroundings, he muttered to himself, "Fortunately, I didn't encounter any cultivators during my journey here. Otherwise, I would have to kill them." After a moment, he flew toward the top of the Skywheel mountain range and continued to observe his surroundings. The Skywheel mountain range was not high, but it was vast. The terrain was complex and rugged. As he hovered above the mountain range, he did not see a suitable place to land. Where could the Yuan'ers be? Zhou flew east from the Skywheel mountain range, passing the most rugged area before he saw a deep valley. His eyes lit up immediately. A valley? This should be the Skywheel Rift Valley. There was no doubt the valley was a perfect hiding place for the vicious beasts to hide. In fact, there might even be birth chart beasts hiding in this place. Just as Wuya had said, the word "a maybe" indicates a possibility. Nothing was impossible in this universe, and Zhou needed to confirm it. Towering trees covered 1/3 of the valley, obscuring Zhou's view. After looking around for a moment, he found a place and muttered, "This is it." He brought the young with him as he dove and landed under one of the trees. Subsequently, he flew to a nearby hill and waited. Disguise card. Zhou brought a disguise card out and quickly shattered it. After all, there were many disciples on the 12 sects of Cloud Mountain who knew what he looked like. After the incident with Yizhen, he could not be certain if there were still spies among the Cloud Mountain disciples. This was also the reason he decided to act alone. The disguise card took effect immediately. He felt a cooling sensation on his wrinkly face before he felt it distorting and changing. At the same time, the color of his hair was changing at an astonishing speed as well. In just a few breaths, his appearance had changed drastically. From an old man with gray hair, he now looked like a mature and calm middle-aged man. After his appearance changed, he could not help but mutter to himself, "When will my appearance change to that of a handsome young man?" He recalled all the times he had used the disguise card and confirmed his appearance would look younger and each time. He wondered if the card would make him younger was related to his cultivation base. He was rather satisfied with the appearance of a middle-aged man. At the very least, he was certain no one from Cloud Mountain would be able to associate this middle-aged man with him. Zhou looked at the sun before he finally sat down cross-legged and adjusted his breathing to recover his strength. Although it did not consume much of his energy to travel with the young, he liked to be in peak condition at all times. With this, Zhou entered his state of cultivation in the Silent Valley as the cooling sensation from the purple glazed ceramic permeated his body. Meanwhile, in the sacred hall of the Sky Martial Court, a disciple was giving a report. "Courtmaster, there's a new discovery. The Yuan'er, the birth chart beast, has successfully escaped from Cloud Mountain. It's flying toward the Great Valley in the Skywheel mountain range." Mo Bian was pleasantly surprised by this report. He exclaimed, "That's great. It seems like Cloud Mountain isn't capable of taking down the birth chart beast." Jian Tingzhong said, "Courtmaster, we shouldn't wait any longer. We have to set off immediately. We have to take down the birth chart beast when it's at its weakest. If we don't make a move, the other forces will definitely make a move." Everyone present on the scene knew the importance of a birth chart beasts, after all. Even the youngest elder had gone to the library to learn more about the birth chart beasts. The life heart of a birth chart beast was the key to activating one's birth chart. Would there be anyone who would not be tempted by this? Yuchen Shu looked at the disciple and asked, "Are you sure? The reconnaissance team we hired has long left. However, I sent some of our people nearby to monitor Cloud Mountain. Our people witnessed the Yuan'er flying in the direction of the Skywheel mountain range. Moreover, its movement as it flew seems to indicate it's injured." A frown appeared on Yuchanshu's face as he asked, "Didn't the people from Cloud Mountain chase after it?" "No." At this moment, Jian Tingzhong said, "The people from Cloud Mountain won't dare to make a move unless that Lu person makes a move. Otherwise, Nia Qingyun would only end up like Sikong Beichen." Yu Qinshu mulled over the matter for a moment before he finally said, "Mo Bian, Jian Tingzhong, come with me. The rest of you will stay here to guard the Sky Martial Court." "Understood." Soon after, a flying chariot could be seen rising to the sky, leaving the Sky Martial Court and flying rapidly toward the east. At this time, Yu Shangrong and Yu Zhenghai were flying swiftly to the Sky Martial Court at a low altitude. After an hour, when the duo flew into the range of the Sky Martial Court, they saw a flying chariot in the sky. Both of them exchanged a look before they sped up. In the Great Valley of the Skywheel Mountain Range. At this time, Lu Zhou had recovered all the energy he had used when he traveled here. Out of curiosity, he used the power of hearing from the human scroll of heavenly writing. His range of hearing expanded quickly. In order to save his extraordinary power, he did not use his power of insight. Moreover, compared to the power of insight, the consumption of energy of the power of hearing was still acceptable. Soon enough, the sound of people whispering rang in Lu Zhou's ears. "It should be around here. Lower your voice, and don't alarm the Yong. When we find the Yong, think of how to deal with it. If we get its life heart, we'll be rich." All right, let's end this quickly. When the people from Cloud Mountain catch up, it'd be over. Hurry. At this moment, several cultivators were flying at a low altitude in the valley. Meanwhile, Lu Zhou used the purple glazed ceramic to conceal his aura. The cultivators continued flying in the sky. Based on their auras, they seemed to be nascent divinity tribulation realm cultivators. Meanwhile, Lu Zhou stayed silent and glanced at the corpse of the Yong lying in the valley. It's obviously there. Why is it so difficult for them to find it? Those cultivators flew back and forth 3 times before they finally found the Yong. "It's here." An excited voice rang in the air. One of the cultivators quickly dove and landed next to the Yong. "Huh? The Yong is dead?" The other cultivators hurried over and landed one after another. All of them had an expression of confusion and disbelief on their faces. How strange. The Yong should have flown back to its nest, right? How did it die here? Look. It has a fatal wound, a young cultivator said as he kicked at the Yong's fatal wound. It did not matter if the young cultivator used a lot of force in his kick, but the corpse of Yong split into 2 immediately as soon as he kicked it. The wound looked clean as well. The cultivators grew even more dumbfounded. This? One of the cultivators sighed at this moment. He lamented, "Someone has already killed the Yong. We're too late. What a pity. I can't believe someone is actually a step ahead of us." Based on the wound, it seems to be caused by a sword. For that person to be able to kill the Yong, he has to be a top swordsman. All of the cultivators felt regretful and were about to leave when the life heart is still here. Everyone turned back immediately. One of the cultivators stepped forward. He disregarded the mess and the gore as he dug the corpse open with his bare hands, bringing out the Yong's life heart. Everyone was shocked and quickly looked over. The life heart shone with a red light, and its intensity was not inferior to that of the sun in the morning. The cultivators widened their eyes in surprise and joy. They managed to obtain the life heart that could help one to activate one's birth chart. Alas, they were so overwhelmed by happiness that they did not wonder why someone would leave the Yong's life heart behind after killing the Yong. At this time, a cultivator who was standing next to the cultivator who was holding the life heart suddenly drew his saber and decapitated the cultivator who held the life heart. As soon as the head rolled to the ground, the murderer quickly grabbed the life heart before he leaped backward and flew to a nearby hill. Following that, he shouted, "Let's see which one of you dares to make a move against me. This is my..." "Zhang, what are you doing?" The cultivators were naturally shocked by the sudden turn of events. They did not expect Zhang Hao to suddenly make a move. At this moment, all of them regarded him warily as though he was their enemy. Zhenghai, who had always been very cautious, looked to the left and to the right before he said, I'm warning you, don't chase after me. This life heart is mine. All of your cultivation bases are lower than mine. If you chase after me, I'll kill you. He held the life heart in his arm, preparing to leave. Zhenghai, you want to leave after killing someone? Your cultivation base is high, but do you think you can fight against 5 of us at once? The cultivator closest to Zhenghai looked at the others and tried to persuade them to work together. Don't let him leave. Let's work together to take him down. All right. The other cultivators did not think twice and agreed to work together. Zhenghai seemed surprised by their decision. However, now that things had come to this point, there was no turning back. He hastily leaped into the sky to fly out of the valley. The other 5 cultivators flew up at the same time and unleashed their grand techniques. 2 of them stood guard in the sky while the other 3 blocked the exit of the valley. Zhenghai sneered as he said, just admit that you want the life heart. We'll let you leave if you hand the life heart over. Well, that will depend on whether you're capable of taking it from me. Just like that, a fierce battle broke out in the sky while the corpse of the Yuan'er lay on the ground. Zhou shook his head. These cultivators should have been nearby. After all, they arrived very quickly. Unfortunately, they did not have the luck nor strength to keep the life heart. This universe had always been cruel. In any case, Zhou was not worried they would be able to leave with the life heart. At this time, the large sects should have arrived. However, Zhou did not make a move. He continued observing his surroundings. After all, patience was the basic quality a hunter should have. Bang. 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 The sound of energies clashing continued to ring from the valley, the resonance of avatars being manifested rang in the air as well. Zhou looked up. He saw the cultivator, Zhenghai, had 7 leaves. On the other hand, among the 5 cultivators, 3 of them had 6 leaves while the other 2 had 5 leaves. They could be considered grand cultivators. He wondered for a moment if he should seize the opportunity and kill all of them. With his current strength, just using sovereign descent was enough to kill all of them. In the end, he finally decided to kill them. After all, he had placed the life heart in the corpse of the Yuan'er to lure his prey. Zhou slowly rose to his feet. Just as he was about to make a move, he heard a faint noise. It seemed like someone was approaching. With this discovery, he stopped moving. When he turned around, he saw cultivators behaving sneakily. When one of the cultivators saw Zhou, he was clearly taken aback. However, he quickly regained his senses and said with a chuckle, "Friend, I didn't expect you to think of hiding here as well. It seems like we're kindred spirits." Zhou frowned slightly. "Who are you?" "Stop pretending. I saw the Yuan'er." "What's your name?" the man asked, dropping all pretenses. My surname is Zhou said. He almost forgot himself and gave his name away. "Come on, be honest with me." "My name is Wei Junzi, and this is my little brother." Bang. 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 The sounds of 2 avatars colliding rang in the air at this moment. One of the avatars crashed against the mountain and was shattered by Zhenghai's avatar. With this, his opponent died a terrible death. Wei Junzi shuddered. He shook his head as he said, "How pitiful. An innocent man would get in trouble because of his wealth. Do you think it'd be easy once you possess the life heart?" Zhou asked skeptically, "Aren't you here to snatch the life heart as well?" Wei Junzi replied, "No, I'm not that stupid." Zhou saw the shadow of Zhenghai in Wei Junzi. Both of them were rather similar, but Wei Junzi seemed bolder. Moreover, he found it strange that Wei Junzi did not seem wary of him. In any case, Zhou did not dwell on the matter. No matter what these people were planning, he could just easily slap them down. Bang. 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 Based on the noises that were growing softer, it seemed like the battle in the valley was coming to an end. Zhou shifted his attention back to the valley and discovered Zhenghai had lost an arm. Zhenghai wiped the blood off his face and looked at the corpses on the ground with a cold expression on his face. Wei Junzi said, "The big fish is coming. We better leave if we don't want to be discovered." As soon as he finished speaking, he quickly pulled his companion away and retreated to the depths of the forest. However, when Wei Junzi discovered Lu Zhou was standing still, he hastily called out, "Brother Lu, come over here. Hurry up." Naturally, Lu Zhou was not afraid of being discovered at all since he had the purple glazed ceramic. Nonetheless, he still followed Wei Junzi. After killing his companions, Zhenghai held onto the life heart and rushed to leave the canyon. He knew he had to leave this place as soon as possible. As long as he could escape into the depths of the dense forest, no one would be able to find him. Alas, just as Zhenghai was about to leave the valley, a nine-leaf avatar descended from the sky. Boom! The nine-leaf avatar landed in a horizontal position, breaking the trees and blocking Zhenghai's path. A cultivator stood in front of the nine-leaf avatar and extended his hand toward Zhenghai as he said indifferently, "Thank you for helping me obtain the life heart." Zhenghai's eyes widened in fear. His lips trembled, and his legs weakened. He knew it was over. The life heart he had held against his chest dropped to the ground immediately. He stumbled a few steps back as he stammered, "You're the heavenly fire sect's Fengzai?" Fengzai shook his head expressionlessly. With just a flip of his hand, the life heart flew into his palm. His fingers trembled slightly as soon as the life heart was in his hand, but he quickly regained his composure. He said indifferently, "Respect should be given to this life heart that can activate birth charts. Those who disrespect it should be cut down." Fengzai pushed his left hand out, and an energy saber shot toward Zhenghai. "No, no!" Zhenghai cried out. He turned around immediately, intending to flee. Alas, he was shredded into pieces by the energy saber. He could not even put up a fight. After Fengzai obtained the life heart, he surveyed his surroundings as he quickly withdrew his avatar. However, just as he turned to leave, he saw an avatar flying toward him at a low altitude. Soon he discovered there were, in fact, 3 nine-leaf avatars flying toward him from 3 different directions. No! Fengzai widened his eyes and feared and decisively ran back into the valley. Earlier, in order to stop Zhenghai, he had no choice but to manifest his avatar to end the battle quickly. Unfortunately, his avatar had been discovered by others. Fengzai continued to flee. From time to time, he would turn back to look at the 3 avatars flying toward him. After running past several towing trees, he saw the Yang's corpse, which had been cleaved into 2, on the ground. He only frowned slightly as he continued to run deeper into the valley. In the dense forest near a mountain, Wei Junzi chuckled before he said, "It's just as I expected. If you follow me, you'll be able to watch a good show." "Brother Lu, why are you looking at me like that?" "Don't worry, I'm very familiar with this area." "Why are you helping me? Aren't you afraid I'd kill you?" Lu Zhou asked. "We don't have a conflict of interest. Why would you kill me? Why don't we work together? If we succeed, you can have the life heart. I'm not an ambitious person. After they leave, I only plan to ransack the corpses to see if there are any treasures," Wei Junzi replied. Lu Zhou glanced at him and said, "You can do all that without my help, right?" Wei Junzi replied, "You seem to be cautious, and I like your style. You'll know what I mean if you follow me. Anyway, it's up to you to follow me or not." Then, he turned to his companion and said, "Let's go." "Yes, boss." The duo hurriedly ran toward the sloping mountain. Lu Zhou's expression was calm as he looked at the duo. After a moment, he followed them. In the Lu Zhou, Wei Junzi, and his companion took a shortcut and made 7 to 8 turns before they arrived at the end of the valley. Lu Zhou looked calm. He glanced in the direction where the 2 of them disappeared and chased after them. "Shush." Wei Junzi shushed everyone as they hid behind a cliff. At this moment, Fengzai flew to the end of the valley as well and found a place to hide. It was dark at the depths of the valley. Soon enough, 3 nine-leaf avatars appeared as well. "He must be hiding here. Don't let him escape. Cut out all escape routes. Come out. Hand over the life heart and our Crimson Sun sect will spare your life. We just want the life heart. If you don't want to die, come out. The last two words contained a sound wave that shook the entire valley. The sound wave attacked indiscriminately. Those with low cultivation bases had no way of defending against it, causing their blood chi to boil. Needless to say, Zhou was not the slightest bit affected. On the other hand, Wei Junzi's companion was pale as he silently endured the impact brought by the sound wave. If you don't come out now, don't blame the Crimson Sun sect for being merciless. On the count of 3. 1. 2. 3. The sound wave swept out again as 3 avatars appeared again. At this moment, Wei Junzi frowned. Why aren't the people from the Sky Martial Court here yet? Why do you think the people from the Sky Martial Court will come? Zhou asked curiously. Would the life heart of the birth chart beast appear here for no reason? That old fox with the surname Lu on Cloud Mountain is very cunning. He actually thought of such a method to lure various forces here. However, I don't understand his reason for doing this. Old fox? Zhou frowned. It seemed like this Wei Junzi knew quite a bit. Wei Junzi chuckled. Hey, I just realized you have the surname as him. As soon as Wei Junzi finished speaking, a beam of red light shot out from the depths of the valley. He instinctively turned to look and exclaimed in surprise, the power of the birth charts?